You know, so for me, when it comes to dating and courting, it's kind of simple. You know, I know a lot of times on this podcast I say a lot of things is, you know, a thin line. For me, it's not. You know, I know when I get to talking to my partners and that type of shit, which is my cousins in turn. When I get to talking to them, you know, I know we'll get into a conversation. It's like, that's a thin line though. But for me, it's not. You know, and I'm gonna tell you why. When I met my kid's mother, which I fast forward and then I'm gonna bring it back. Which when I met my kid's mother, I in turn ended up dating her, courting her, asking her to marry me, married her, and it so forth and so on, right? For me, it's simple, you know, but nowadays it seems like it ain't really that simple, you know, and it seems like it's a thin line because it seems like the goalpost has moved a lot, you know, just by talking to my daughter. She's away in college, and it's like nowadays, you know, you dating somebody if you following them, or if you liking too many pics, or you liking too many videos or some shit like that. I just had a conversation with her the other day, you know, telling me about a dude that like her and all this. I'm like, all right, okay, so what's happening? Oh, I liked him on Instagram. Well, I started following him. He started following me, and I'm like, okay, so what are we doing? Is this a dating situation, or are you just following each other on Instagram? Because to my knowledge, even though I'm not Instagram or social media heavy at all, it's like, okay, what are we doing? You know, so I don't know, and she couldn't really tell me either, you know, to her credit, but it's kind of new in a sense for her, I guess, as well. But for me, dating and courting, when I first started talking to my wife and my kid's mother, right, I approached her, you know, on some dating-ish, you know, right out the door. Not in the sense where I was asking her to be my girlfriend right off the bat, but you know, I liked how she looked, so I approached her with just my number. Some old school shit that I would think, but I ain't old. You know what I'm saying? So, but now, that's like, you pull out a pen and a paper now, motherfucker gonna look at you crazy, like, what? What is this? Where's your phone at, nigga? You know what I'm saying? They want to take your phone, put your number in your phone, and put their number in your phone, all this type of shit. Nah, you know, that's something that I have never got with. You know what I'm saying? I never have had to have got with it, you know, so I guess I'm speaking from a biased standpoint in that sense, but I'm back with the pen and paper. You know, what's your number? Scrambling, going from store to, hey, you got a pen? You got a pen? Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's the throwback of me, you know, and that's why I say I'm an 80s baby, but I'm a product of the 90s, you draw. So with me, yeah, I gave her my number, wrote it down, this, that, and the third. She took it. I can't believe if she called me on the first day or not. It might have been on the second day, but I'm not too for sure. She'll probably tell you more so than me, because according to her, she sang me way before I sang her. So, that's a whole nother story. But for me, that's how it was. So in terms of dating, like, it wasn't nothing too serious. And granted, we were still in high school at the time, you know. But however, it was still in terms of me trying to figure her out, trying to get to know her. Not the cheat code. For me, the cheat code now is Instagram. You could, or Facebook, or any of those social sites. You can go on any of those social sites, and you can honestly, actually figure out a person who they are just by strolling down their page. You know what I'm saying? It's not the intimacy factor anymore. And for me, I'm a private person. I'm personal, and you know, I want to get in front of you. You know, I want to get in your face. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a talkative person, irregardless to why I'm doing this, right? But I'm still a talent. though, you know. But however, for me, it was, I know I need to get around you. I need to see, you know, who you interact with, you know, your family situation, this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And I did all of that, you know, and I did it damn good for a stint, you know, to a point where I was like, okay, this is beyond dating. Now this is, for me, it was I taking it to a next level, right? And I believe that's why it's a difference between just dating and courting. You know, dating is just, you know, I just figured out. And we did that. I did it. I initiated and I did that. All right, right? So fast forward to courting. Did the courting thing and ended up in marriage. You know, because at some point it's like, okay, how long you going to continue to play around? You know, and I would be the first to say, you know, I'm no snitch. I'm no gag code breaker or anything anything like that. But however, I will say that if a guy that you're dating, for the ladies specifically, if a guy that you're dating after, I give it 4 years. After 4 years, because you know the way things is, shit is now. Couple years go by, you know, they trying to figure you out, then they're trying to juggle what they probably already been doing before you came into their life. So it's now you're like in a big mesh pool. You're like in a gumbo in a sense, and it's like in a gumbo, what pieces are you gonna take out? What pieces are you gonna eat first? You know what I'm saying? Like when you make this big, all of it is beautiful, but what you gonna dive in first? You know, what you gonna taste first? You know, and when you're courting, obviously you gotta put more stock into the female in terms of a guy. You know, you gotta put more stock into the female that you're courting, right? So for me, it was okay trying to juggle all of these things. Work. We did have a baby. In around the same time, I figured that I wanted to be with her, you know, for the rest of my life, and this is something that I want to make a situation with, right? And to build something with, longevity, forever, all of that, right? So now that I'm doing that, now, you know, I had to I guess elevate myself in a sense, you know, was terrible at it. I would definitely admit, was absolutely terrible. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, you know. But I believe that also goes back to the people that you're talking to, your old heads, and some of the OGs that you guys consider, you know, nowadays. You know, you're getting information from motherfuckers that they don't even know what they doing, you know. So I did get a lot of bad information, excuse me, sorry. But at the same time though, I also know I had people I could lean on, but for whatever reason, I didn't. You know, I was the person that knew that at least thought I knew it all, you know, and I'm gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is that, red flag, all that type of shit, the shit that ladies talk about now, you know. I still, like, I'm gonna make it happen, right? So I went through the courting stages and everything, and I was, like I said, I was terrible at it, but however, you know, I overcame it, you know, and we end up getting married, and you know, to a certain extent, it was rocky in the beginning, you know, because getting young at that age, I got married when I was 21, and she was married and she was 20. So we didn't know what we was doing, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I say, you know, you gotta be conscious about who you're talking to and who's in your ear, you know. But for me, the courting stage, I didn't know what I was doing, but it was still cool. But I still understood the difference, right? And I asked my partner, my resident host, Rando G, on the last episode, last podcast, I'm like, hey man, so if you had, let's say for instance, you had someone that you just met and y'all rocking for a couple weeks and whatnot, and just say for instance they call you one day like, hey, how you doing, good morning, all this type of shit, and you doing anything today? And you on the other phone, on the other line, rather, like, nah, I ain't doing nothing, well, what's up? Oh, can you take my car here and can you take me to work? Or can you meet me at the dealership, then take me to work, then come pick me back up and take me to pick up my car, or even go pick up your car for you? You know, that to me seems like boyfriend type of shit. I asked him that and he told me he didn't have no problem with doing it. You know, I even asked my other partner, which also, by the way, is my cousin, Goldie. What's happening, boy? Curtis O. I also asked him the same thing. Like, you know, by the way, that episode should be coming out. I just gotta get with him. But just asking him, like, would you do that? You know, he's married now, but would you do that? Like, is that a thing? And he was like, yeah, he would do that. I'm not gonna lie. If I was single, ain't no way. No, sir. I can't do it. And the only reason I'm gonna tell you I can't do it or I wouldn't do it if I was single is because of the stories that I heard. The expectation factor, right? It's like a kid, you know. You give them a little bit, or don't even shit, hell. You give them an inch, they gonna take a mile. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't really give that much because my perception, like both of them said, yeah, it ain't nothing. Gee, if I ain't doing nothing, that ain't nothing. Yeah, I'll take you to work. Yeah, I'll take you to pick up your car and whatnot after work or whatever. That ain't nothing. However, the stories that I've heard, you start doing that type of stuff, they start claiming you. They start coming after you like, hey, hold fast, hold on. Where you at? What you mean where I'm at? No, what you doing? Who are you with? Who in the background? They get to ask the question and get a little bit aggressive. Like, they're yours. Like, they're your girlfriend, your significant other, whatever. Right? It's certain things that I believe that's player and that you should be able to do that's like, alright, okay, cool, whatever, you know, but it's certain things also that you do and you put yourself out there in the sense that, nah, B, I'm acting like your dude and you gonna treat me like your dude, you know, and that's when the questions come. That's when a good situation turn bad drastically. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with it. Yeah, well, I can't be with it now. But you drunk. But I wasn't with it back then. Okay. I was one to be overly boyfriend type of this is I'll put it even a better term. I was the one to do things above and beyond that a boyfriend probably should do. You know, especially how young I was. You know what I'm saying? I got my girlfriend at the time, which is now I turned my wife. I got her cell phone, right? I know my parents been looking at us and be like, what? I got my girlfriend a cell phone in high school. This is my Taco Bell check. You know what I'm saying? I got her cell phone. You know, I damn near took the whole check. This was Cricket, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna ask her, but you know what? It probably was. It was a Nokia phone, right? I don't know what service. I know it was prepaid. So I think at that time, if I'm not mistaken, I'm just crying with tears right now because it just brings back a lot of memories, right? So it was a Nokia phone, and you had to upload minutes to it. It was a card, and I had ended up getting that at my first year at Taco Bell.